drone flying past them, but the invaders did not even have time to open fire on it with machine guns. The kamikaze drone calmly picked up speed and hit the tank's ammunition, turning it into an impressive fireball. The explosion was so powerful that the tank's turret was blown off. Look again at this beauty. After an explosion, the parts of a tank can burn for hours on the battlefield. The invaders are trying to resist the drones with the help of metal structures on the turrets. They further disguise the tank and take most of the impact of the explosion. But such structures only protect against dumps. A kamikaze drone can easily bypass this protection. The Ukrainian drone is compact enough that it does not need to destroy the tank with its own explosive part alone. The main thing is the detonation of the tank's ammunition. Once it is hit, the shells for the 125mm gun will ignite and cause a spectacular explosion. The battlefield is filmed by an observer, whose role is mostly played by a Mavic with a powerful battery. He finds the target, and this drone took a long time to aim to cause fatal damage with just one blow. And he succeeded. It is optimal for Ukrainian drone pilots to work in groups. Mavic monitors the battlefield from afar and looks for targets. A kamikaze drone is sent out to attack Russian vehicles. The pilot of the FPV drone can work from a hiding place up to 10 kilometers away from the collision site. However, the pilot sees from the first person, which allows him to look for weaknesses in armored vehicles and the best direction to strike. The cost of such a drone rarely exceeds $1,000, making it one of the most cost-effective weapons in modern warfare. To effectively destroy enemy equipment, a drone pilot must understand exactly where to hit for maximum effect. Note that the strikes of Ukrainian kamikaze drones are mostly aimed at the junction of the hull and turret. The Ukrainians also know very well where the enemy's ammunition is located. The tank has no chance after the ammunition caught fire. In addition to kamikaze drones, Russian equipment is destroyed by UAVs with drops. The pilot has to hover over the target, precisely calculating the drone's position. When a Russian tank is firing from cover, it disguises itself with a smoke trail. The surveillance drones detect this and go to determine the exact location of the enemy. Sometimes a Russian tank or gun is completely hidden behind vegetation. Ukrainian pilots track the tank's location precisely, and then the FPV flies between the branches and hits the target. The kamikaze drone has only one chance because it technically cannot return to base. But the well-coordinated actions of the observers and the FPV allow them to destroy both Russian tanks that were working in pairs. Kamikaze drones often finish off vehicles that have been immobilized. Before striking, the FPV pilot must make sure that he has encountered a still dangerous combat unit, then select a point to strike and attack. All this in a matter of seconds. If a Russian tank is equipped with a mounted structure for protection, its destruction becomes a mission from the category of almost impossible. But a really experienced pilot can even handle it for example, by dropping a grenade directly into the hatch with filigree precision, bypassing the armor. Or by flying into the rear of a tank between the active armor elements. A Russian tank settled down next to the one that had already been destroyed. The trick did not work. Not far away, Ukrainian pilots record the rapid movement of a Russian self-propelled artillery unit. It retreats after the first unsuccessful strike by a Ukrainian drone. The 122mm cannon can fire conventional shells at a distance of more than 15 kilometers, and rockets at a distance of more than 21. It is important for the occupiers to keep such equipment. But they failed. A detailed analysis of the strike shows that the kamikaze drone attacked from the side so that the protective structure on top would not save the enemy's self-propelled artillery system a second time. Enemy vehicles hit in this way are often finished off by strikes from behind, as frontal armor is the most powerful. Sometimes the detonation of the ammunition looks like a fireworks display. If a Ukrainian drone immediately hits enemy shells, they detonate in different directions, and the hull of the vehicle instantly tears like paper. Then the enemy tries to leave the position as quickly as possible. In other cases, a hit causes a cloud of smoke that can be seen from a distance of several kilometers. But sooner or later, the fire reaches the Russians' shells. A powerful explosion from the inside leaves only a charred frame of the formidable tank. The Russians are actively using electronic warfare equipment that jams the signal of kamikaze drones. That's why Ukrainian pilots return to dumping. The Mavic hovers over enemy equipment outside the range of electronic warfare and drops unguided explosives. The pilot has to take into account the trajectory of the grenade, the strength and direction of the wind. This requires jewelry precision, but hitting the hatch can destroy enemy vehicles from the inside. An accurate strike can literally tear apart the metal hull of the occupier's equipment, scattering its parts. Or the enemy's APC is fried from the inside after an accurate drop. The protective structure over the tower alone was clearly not enough to protect against the Ukrainian drone. Sometimes it flies so fast to the target that it seems as if the target explodes on its own. Or the enemy's APC is fried from the inside after an accurate drop. Drones are equipped with various means of destruction. Even a mortar shell can be attached to relatively large UAVs. The effectiveness is impressive. To prevent a hit, the Russian EW system jams the signal long before the drone approaches the critical distance. Therefore, experienced Ukrainian pilots find the optimal trajectory and speed so that even after losing control, the drone reaches the target. The hit is recorded by a Mavic flying at a higher altitude. Sometimes the detonation does not occur immediately, but it is impossible to avoid it. Note the radius in which the blast wave scatters the wreckage of Russian equipment.